All right, friends, we're starting off laying down. Come on down, close your eyes. Spread your back on the floor, spread your arms and legs out. We're just going to take a little time to breathe, just giving yourself some transition time. Breathe deeply through your nose, as much as you can. Big inhales that take up all the space in your lungs. And big exhales that clean out all the air. Bring in new, fresh, clean air. And clean out the old air. And see if you could use all the available space for this breath and start to, without even moving or leaving the floor, move a lot just with your breath. Feeling all the parts of your torso expanding and contracting. So this movement is happening not only in your chest, right? Your chest is expanding and contracting, your rib cage, but your belly is moving too. As a matter of fact, if you like, you can put one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest and feel how they rise and fall at the same rate. Notice your body relaxing. All right, hopefully you notice a little more heaviness. Maybe your back feels a little longer. Hopefully you can soften your face, your jaw. Let go of tension in your body. So when we start a practice like this, just breathing deeply, and we move all the musculature and the bones of the torso this way, we're really warming your body up. We're warming up your core. We're warming up the muscles of your chest, back, and belly. Okay, from the inside. It's the best warm up. All right, friends, keep your big breath. We're going to keep that same really big, long, slow breath, and we'll add some movement now. So bend your knees and bring your feet up close by your hips with your knees pointed up. And you can walk your feet out away from each other, and you decide how far you want to take them. It's really very personal. I like mine kind of wide because that gives you more movement in your hips. If your hips feel really tight and you're like, I don't think I want that much, keep your feet close together, okay? But either way, you'll start to drop your knees side to side. Drop them to one side. Let them fall. Let them kind of hover off the ground, okay? And it doesn't have to be a very strong movement. You can keep it really kind of passive, just letting gravity do most of the work. Okay, I like to pair this with cactus arms, so you can make your arms into like a goalpost shape and press them against the floor. Notice if you press your arms down a little bit, it gives you more freedom to move in your lower body. So just maybe as the hips start to warm up, maybe you notice your hips getting a little softer as we internally, then externally rotate them. Okay, as they warm up, maybe you can move more deeply into this movement. You can drop the knees a little firmly. Drop them more firmly to the other side. Notice your low back is getting a gentle twisting out. Okay, it's getting wrung out. All right, next time the knees come up and in, pause right there, and then pick your feet up off the floor and glue your legs together. So they're still bent at the knee, but they're now one solid leg, okay? Keep your cactus arms, and we're just gonna deepen your twist. So hover your knees on one side, keep them together and look away from them. Bring them through center. Hover them to the other side, look away. And let's keep that going. Okay, keep breathing. Exhale as you twist. Inhale through center. Exhale. And inhale. Okay, we've moved the twist further up your spine now. It's in your middle and your upper back. And when you move your head, the twist goes all the way up to the base of your skull. So your whole spine is getting a fantastic massage. A couple more times on each side, friends. And next time you come back through center, pause your legs here. Just drop your feet back to the floor and then keep your knees together, but walk your feet away from each other this time. So your legs make a little bit of a tent shape. And then you can kind of flatten your low back on the floor from there. And we'll start to move your upper body. So I like to call this big cactus, tiny cactus. So you've got your cactus arms on the floor, palm facing up. With your inhale, reach your hands out away, still dragging on the floor. With your exhale, bend your elbows and pull them down by your ribs. This is tiny cactus. Okay, inhale for big cactus. Reach. Exhale for tiny cactus. Pull. Keep going. Reach. And pull. So I want you to feel your back start to wake up, shoulders, back, all getting involved here. Keep those palms facing up. Should feel nice across your chest. Maybe one more time. The next time you reach out, leave your arms right there. Reach out with your long cactus arms and then reach out with your legs as well. Okay, we'll start to get your core a little bit more involved. So think of pulling your belly button down toward the ground here. And you might even keep a slight bend in your knees just to keep that neutral feeling in your low back. So pretend that you're trying to keep your low back on the floor here. We don't want it to pop up and arch. That would be maybe dangerous for your low back. So low back safety first. With your inhale, reach out long. With your exhale, pull your knees in, reach for your shins. And if it's okay with your neck, pull your forehead towards your knees. And we'll do it again. Inhale to reach long. Exhale, pull it in. Keep it going, getting warmer. Now, if you need less challenge, you're just gonna do your legs, okay? You're just gonna keep your arms, upper body on the floor. You're just gonna do your legs. If you like the challenge and you want more challenge, what you can do is when you lengthen your body out, float your arms and legs off the floor, okay? So find where you are. I'm always gonna give you options to take it up or take it down. Keep going, guys. 3 more. Finding your perfect challenge level for you. Always modifying if you need. Always challenging yourself if you need more to stay interested. Last one. Nice. Squeeze the knees in and hold right there. So you see if you can get your forehead a little closer to your knees and your knees a little closer to your forehead. Keep breathing. Last breath here. Okay, let that go. Tuck your hands behind your knees here. And let's rock it all the way up to a seat. Come on up. All right, here you are seated. Make your spine nice and long. So like the top of your head is moving up and the tailbone is pointing down and maybe even curling forward a little bit to point at your toes. So long spine, please. And then you're grabbing your knees. Just lean back a teensy bit until you feel your abs engage, okay? It's really not far that you have to lean back. So engage the abs, point that tailbone at your toes. See if you could pick up one foot and point it toward the front of your space. Okay, maybe 2 feet is okay. Maybe you keep the feet down. It's really up to you, okay? So we are in boat pose now, Navasana. Fantastic core strengthener, okay, posture trainer. If you need to put your feet down at any time, you can. But if you're feeling pretty good, go ahead and reach one hand forward toward the front of your space and the other. And breathe. Okay, notice what's going on. Pull that belly button up and into your spine and lengthen that heart upward. Nice breath, nice challenge. So you can always put your feet down if you need a break here, but I'm going to give you one more option. If you're feeling really spicy and good today, you can extend one leg to point up at the top ceiling of your space, and you can extend the other leg, and you can even reach up with your arms. Let's take one more big breath in, boat pose. And then let it go as you exhale. Go ahead and drop your feet. Point your knees out to one side, and we'll just flip it over to hands and knees here, okay? Come on over. So find a nice tabletop position. Okay, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and you want to spread your fingers nice and wide. So you see a lot of floor under your fingers. And then put some grip so that if you have a mat under you or a rug or a blanket, you can see the fabric or the material buckling under your hands. And that's how you know you've got that nice tiger grip. Pull the elbows in toward each other and lift the belly button into your spine so your low back is safe. And we'll just do some nice little spinal movements. So inhale here, think of pulling your hands back to move your heart forward. Looking forward, your spine is arched and you're in a cow pose. With your exhale, push the floor away, round your spine, and look at your belly button. You are in a cat pose. Let's do the few more like that. Inhale to cow, pull that heart forward. Exhale to cat. Keep it going. Maybe close your eyes here. Finding some good spaciousness across the front body when we extend and arch the spine. And across the back body when we round. Maybe you even shake your head out. And then make it not only front to back movement, right? But make it a little bit side to side. Roll sideways into it. Make it kind of snaky and weird. You just want to imagine that you're rolling out all the little sore spots in your back. Maybe you find some spots between your shoulder blades that really needed to be opened up. Okay, from here, friends, bring it back to a flat back. tuck your toes and hover your knees just off the mat. This is a little challenge, okay? A little challenge for you. If it's too much, you can drop your knees, okay? Or you can pick up your knees. Either one will make it easier. But you're hovering if you're like the challenge, hold and breathe. Pull the belly button into your spine. Pull the elbows in toward each other. Okay, you notice your legs working, your core. Let's see if we can hover the knees for 3 more breaths. I think we can. I think we can do it. Hovering for 2 more long, slow breaths. We can do it. Just 1 more. All right, at the bottom of your exhale, lift your hips, lift your knees, and walk your hands back to your feet. And just hang here. Very generously bent knees. Shake your head out, sway side to side. Okay, so try to bend your knees enough that you can really let your head hang down so that your shoulders are just about level with your knees. If you're hanging and your shoulders are level with your hips, this could be bad for your spine. So take care of your spine. Put those hands down, at least your fingertips on the floor, okay? You can always bend your knees more. Notice the sense of traction in your spine. This is a super healthy moment where your spine just gets to lengthen out and decompress. Okay, so from here, we're gonna roll it up. Finding equal weight in both feet. With your inhale, push into your heels and roll yourself up. Think of stacking yourself. Like for the very first time, lift your heart. And exhale here, hinging at your hips, roll it all the way down. Palms come to the floor. With your inhale, walk your hands forward and find a little plank pose. Now remember, plank, you can always put your knees down. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem to put the knees down. More challenging to keep the knees up. Big exhale here as you walk your feet to your hands. And again, just hang and fold. Okay, you might enjoy bending the knees and grabbing your elbows here, kind of shifting your weight side to side. Shift the weight. Okay, and then try not just shifting side to side, but try shifting your weight forward onto the toes and back onto the heels. Okay, then as you're ready, we're gonna roll this one up. So release your hands, inhale, press into your feet, come on up, lift your heart. Exhale here, hinging at your hips, come all the way down. Palms on the floor. Inhale here, walk your feet back to a plank. Remember to use your knees if you need to. And exhale, walk your hands all the way back to your feet. One more time, we're gonna hang, okay? Now this time, you may wanna join your hands behind your back and move them away from you. Shifting the weight forward and back in your feet. Side to side, waking up your legs. All right, as you're ready, release your hands, inhale and roll it up. Lift your heart nice and high. And exhale, hinge it all the way down. Palms are down here. Inhale, walk your heart and your hands forward into your momentary plank. And with your exhale, see if you could lower yourself down in slow motion. Pull the elbows in by your ribs. Scrape your body with your elbows. Okay, grip the mat under your shoulders. With your inhale, pull your heart up and forward. Okay, Cobra. With your exhale, set it down. And we'll do it a few more times. So strong hands on the floor. Pull back on your inhale. Pull the hands. And exhale to let the heart down. So keep it going. I want you to kind of find a little rhythm and just move in and out of this Cobra Pose. And I'm just going to talk to you about it. So super great pose just for improving your posture. Okay, opening up the back and the front of your body. Keep the elbows in and don't be tempted to push the floor. Pull the floor. You want to think of pointing your tailbone down and lifting your heart up. Let's do it 3 more times. Inhale up, exhale down. You can make it a really small movement. Okay, baby cobra. Or you can make it a big movement. I call it mommy cobra. Next time you come down, let it go. Tuck your toes here. You could come up through hands and knees or a plank, and I'll meet you in a downward facing dog with your hips up in the air. Letting your head hang, shake it out. So downward facing dog, friends, go ahead and walk your heels out. Feel free to put a lot of bend in your knees if this feels really tense in the back of your legs, okay? And think of pushing the floor away with your hands and with your feet. If downward facing dog gets to be too much, you can drop those knees. But I just want you to take a few more breaths here. Think of pushing the hands down and feet down and also pulling back in toward the center. All right, so we'll start to move from here, friends. Here we go. With your inhale, just swing your right leg up and out behind you. Send it up in the air. With your exhale, move that right knee forward, and you can just drop the right foot outside your right hand. Go ahead and drop that back knee, and you're down in a little low lunge. You could come up on your fingertips under your shoulders here, if you like, so that your spine can be long and you have more space. And we'll just rock the hips forward and back a few times, just to get a sense of how the back of the right leg is feeling here and how the front of the left is feeling. So low lunge, we're finding some extra space in hips and legs, okay? Getting some gentle movement going in your hips. And the next time you come forward into that low lunge with the hips sinking and the right foot on the floor, let's stay right here, okay? If it feels pretty good, you can come up. You can use that right knee to press yourself up so that your upper body is balanced over your hips. And if you need to, you can always come down. But we'll move a little bit from here. So reach up tall, okay? Before we start to move, I want you to activate your legs. So we need a little bit of press down in both legs, like you're resisting the floor. So push the floor away from you with both legs, but then slightly try to pull them inward. Okay, and it doesn't have to be a lot of strength. Just give it a little bit of strength. Push down, pull in. From there, we're gonna move. So inhale here, lift your heart up high in your low lunge, Asana. Okay, with your exhale, drop your fingers back under your shoulders. And again, pull your hips back, point the toes of your right foot at your nose. Let's do that again. Right foot on the floor. Inhaling, reach up, lift your heart. And exhale, fingers down, pull the hips back. Right toes point at your nose. Take a few more like this, just kind of flowing between these two movements. Find a rhythm that suits you, okay, that feels right. So remember, you don't have to put a ton of strength into your legs here, but do put some. And you're always kind of refining and deciding how strong you want to be in any movement. Okay. The next time you come down and you pull that right hip back and you point the right toes at your nose, let's pause there and just enjoy this stretch on the back of your right leg. So make sure your hands are under your shoulders and you can do fingertips on the floor, okay? Try to make the spine as long as you can. Even though it's tempting to round, make it long. Think of dragging down through the right heel. So kick the floor with your right heel and then pull back on the right hip. And you should be feeling some nice opening across the back of the right leg. So you can stay there, or you can start to rock the heel side to side, pointing the toes to the left, toes to the right. Okay, internally and then externally rotating the hip, kind of massaging it out. All right, friends, from here, we're gonna come back out. So put that right foot back on the floor. Put your palms back on the floor. Tuck those left toes and hover the left knee. So we're back in the lunge where we started. From here, could we come up to a 3-leg dog? And that just means with your big breath in, just pick that right leg up and send it out behind you. Okay, just like a downward facing dog, but with one leg up in the air. Exhale here, drop that right foot next to the left, and we're back in downward facing dog. Okay, we're just gonna take a little bit of movement before we go to the other side, just to keep us warm. So feel free to take a break here and we'll meet in down dog, or you can come along. With your inhale, move your heart forward towards your hands. Plank. Feel free to use your knees. With your exhale, walk to your hands and fold. Roll it up on your inhale, lift your heart nice and high. With your exhale, sit down into a chair squat. You're bending your knees toward each other, dropping your hips, look up. You can go as low as you want. Inhale to lift your heart again, stand up. And exhale to fold yourself in half. Come all the way down, hinging at your hips. On your inhale, come halfway up, just look forward. You can put your fingers on the ground or your shins. And with your exhale, fold. Very nice fold here. Palms are down. Inhale, step it back to your plank shape. And see if you could lower slowly down again. On your exhale, slowly lower down. Use your elbows in. Here's one very nice cobra. So inhale, pull back on your hands and lift your heart up. With your exhale, a downward facing dog. I'll meet you there. Okay, friends, walk it out again. Just pedaling your heels out, shaking your head. Yes, no. Push the floor away, but also pull your arms and legs back into center. So you want to feel engaged and active. Okay. In downward facing dog, I like to think of kind of sucking up the center of the palm, right? Suck up your palms a little bit, suck up your arches a little bit. Okay, play around with those sensations. And we'll do the other side, friends. So with your inhale, left leg up and out behind you. Send it back. With your exhale, send that right knee forward. Sorry, that's the left knee forward. And drop the left foot outside your left hand. You can drop the right knee here. And we're in a little bit of a low lunge, so we can start to just rock the hips back and forth here. You can come up on your fingertips if you like. Just waking up the hips, okay? How's the left leg doing? How's the right leg doing? We're always gathering information about how things feel. Okay, drop forward into that lunge. And we'll hold right there. And you could stay down. If this is quite enough, you could stay with your hands down, no problem. But if you're feeling pretty good, come up into the lunge using your left knee as a prop, okay? Balance your hips over your shoulders over your hips, okay? And start to activate your legs against the floor. So maybe 5% of your overall strength. It's not a lot. Push the floor down. Notice what happens in your legs when you do that. And pull them toward each other. So push down, pull together, and then we'll start to move. Inhaling here, Anhatasana, lifting your heart in your low lunge. With your exhale, hands down under your shoulders again, and pull the hips back. Point the left toes at your nose. And we'll do that a few more times here. Inhaling, Anhatasana, push the floor down, lift your heart up. Exhaling, Ardha Hanumanasana, a half split as you pull your hips back. Keep it going, friends. Make sure it feels nice. You can even close your eyes if you want. Getting all your body involved in this. Take up a lot of space. A couple more times, just like this. Building some warmth in your legs. All right, and the next time you come down to your half split, so your fingers are on the floor, you're pulling your hips back, and your left leg is long with a flex in the ankle. Hold it right here. Okay, by the way, you can always bend the left knee more if you have too much tension in the back of the leg. Go ahead and bend that left knee. Make it easier on yourself. Okay, but wherever you are, drop that left heel and start to pull back on the left hip. Do your best to keep your spine long, remember. And then maybe you rock on that left heel, pointing it side to side. Internally rotate the hip. Externally rotate the hip. All right, as you're ready, we'll let this go. Let's put the left foot back on the floor, palms back on the floor. Tucking the right toes here, hover that right knee. We're back in the lunge where we started. Let's come up to a three-leg dog on this side. So with your inhale, send that left leg up and out behind you in the air. And exhale to drop that left foot. You're back in a downward facing dog. Okay. From here, friends, go ahead and drop to your knees. Okay. Keep your hips over your knees. So try to keep them right there and walk your hands out as far as you like, as you can drop your forehead. Come on down. Okay, you are now in Anahatasana, or open heart pose. Okay, your heart kind of melting open to the floor. Breathe deeply here. And this posture will look and feel different for everyone. Okay, we're all so different. So I'm going to present you kind of a spectrum that you can move through freely and decide where you'd like to be. Okay, where it feels best for you. So the most gentle option here is just to keep your forehead down and your arms on the floor. If you feel pretty open in your chest and your heart and you'd like to get in there a little more, try coming up with your fingertips pressing down and your palms lifting, and then you can look at your hands, resting your chin on the floor. So that'll be like the next option you can play with. And you want to keep a long neck, so make sure your neck is always lengthening up away from your shoulders. Okay, if that feels pretty good, you can put your heart on the floor and bend your elbows to point your fingers up. But make sure you have a long neck and you can still talk and breathe. Really opening up all that space in your chest, in your heart. Great for posture, right? This is the opposite of being bent at a computer. One more really big breath here into your shoulders, your chest. Okay, we're gonna come back up out of this. So walk your hands back in towards yourself here. And then keep going until you sit on your heels. So get your big toes touching together, sitting on your heels. And you can have your knees together or wide. Just kind of feel it out. And just drop your head here to the floor. Okay, down in a child's pose, Balasana. And breathe deeply here in your child's pose. Finding a lot of relaxation in your shoulders. You can let them kind of drop toward the floor. Child's pose is so called because it erases the secondary curvature in your spine. Okay, you're only born with this kind of spine. It just is like a little rounded spine. And as you start to lift your head, you get your cervical curve, right, behind your neck. As you start to walk, you get your lumbar curve in your low back. So this erases that, kind of neutralizing your low back, the back of your neck. One more big breath here in child's pose, spreading open the tissues of your back, relaxing your hips. And from here, walk your hands, continue your hands walking all the way back in towards your hips. And then you could just sit your hips to one side and come to a comfortable seat. Okay? You could try just crossing your shins and putting your feet close to each other, okay? Sukhasana means easy pose. Sit up nice and tall here. Feel how grounded your hips are, but also how buoyant the top of your head is. So you're not only rooted, but you feel a sense of lift in your spine, of support. And from here, we'll just take a few gentle twists to kind of recalibrate your spine and cool your body down from your practice. So with your inhale, lift your hands nice and high. With your exhale, turn out to the left. Look over that left shoulder. You drop your left fingers behind. Drop your right fingers in front. And inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Look to the right. Tap the floor with your fingers. Inhale to bring it up. Exhale, other side. So we're going to keep going. Just like this. Notice when your hands go up, there's a tendency for your shoulders to want to go up too, but do the opposite. When your hands go up, think of dropping your shoulders down. And that's going to keep your neck nice and long. And we want a nice long neck. Okay, yogis, next time you turn out to the left, pause it there. And we'll just breathe here. Enjoying this twist. If you want a little more, you can take the right hand to the left knee and use it like a handle. Breathe deeply. Big inhales into your whole rib cage. Spread it wide. And with your exhales, use the strong muscles of your belly to wrap inward. Chest inhale. Belly exhale. All right, when we use the muscles of the belly like that, it's a strong exhale. We're really strengthening and balancing and toning the low back support system. Okay, that's going to keep your low back happy and healthy. As you're ready, friends, we're coming through center again. So inhaling here, back through center. And exhaling to the other side, to the right now. Hold and breathe in your twist. Maybe left hand to the right knee. Looking over that right shoulder. Big chest. Strong belly. Whenever you're twisting, you want your longest possible spine. So continue to lift your top of your head and drop your tailbone. One more breath here. And then let it go. Bring your hands up, back through center. Big breath in. This time with your exhale, drop your hands in front of you, okay? And then keep a really nice pushing back feeling in your hips. So I want you to use your hands to push on the floor, moving your hips firmly downward. You feel that, right? So you can stay right here. As a matter of fact, if that's too much, you could just bring your hands back to your knees, okay? But if you're feeling good, you can start to fold and walk your hands forward, and you're kind of draping your upper body over your legs here. You can come down to your elbows. You can even hang your head. Nice breath. Okay, remember to use your hands to push those hips down. Notice how this feels in your low back. Remember your long neck, shoulders move away from your ears. Maybe one more breath here in your fold. And start to walk your hands back up by your legs. Come on up. Okay, you can change the crossing of your legs here. If you had a crossed leg position, you're gonna want to switch it up. And we'll just take a moment to sit and be here. So you can rest your hands on your legs. Close your eyes down. And start to just breathe very naturally. So for this past hour, we've been kind of controlling the breath and intentionally lengthening it, deepening it. But I want you to do the opposite here and just let it be wild and free. Just let it go. Notice the natural pace of your breath now. And let your body relax. You're just using enough minimal effort just to be in this seated posture. No more. Let all tension or effort melt out of your face. All tension and effort melting out of your hands and your feet, your jaw, your shoulders. Notice how it feels just to be here. Just being still in this moment, noticing what is happening now. Notice the sensations in your body. And you'll probably also notice some thoughts, okay? Maybe think of your thoughts as little twittering birds in the trees. You can hear them, but you wouldn't try to change them, and you don't necessarily need to always be following them. They're there. Continue to bring your awareness back to your breath and your body. Okay, please give yourself as much time as you can just to rest here and let your practice soak in. But this is where I'll leave you today. And thanks so much for joining me, practicing with me.